There's a certain quiet melancholy that settles over the garden as autumn draws to a close. The vibrant colors fade, the leaves fall, and, well, many gardeners feel a sense of an ending, a time to put the tools away and just wait for spring. But what if I told you that this needn't be the case? What if your garden doesn't have to shut down for winter? Think your garden has to shut down for winter. Think again. Here are 10 vegetables that not only survive but thrive in the cold. It's a different kind of gardening, certainly. It requires a bit of foresight and a change in mindset, but the rewards are honestly immeasurable. This is the secret world of the winter vegetable patch, a place where the frost doesn't signal death, but rather a transformation. Many of these crops actually become sweeter and more flavorful after a good hard frost. They are nature's gift to the patient gardener, extending your harvest into the chilliest months and providing fresh, homegrown produce when the shops are full of vegetables that have traveled thousands of miles. It's about working with the seasons, not against them, and discovering a whole new dimension to your gardening year. So, join me as we explore this hidden bounty. We'll look at 10 remarkable plants that will keep your beds productive and your kitchen stocked right through the darkest days of the year. From robust greens that shrug off the snow to root vegetables that are busy sweetening up deep beneath the frozen soil, there is so much life still to be found. This isn't just about survival, it's about embracing the quiet, resilient magic of the winter garden. We begin with a true titan of the winter garden, kale. If there is one vegetable that seems to positively mock the cold, it's this one. While other, more delicate leaves would be blackened and destroyed by a hard frost, kale undergoes a remarkable change. The plant, in an effort to protect itself from freezing, converts its starches into sugars, acting as a natural antifreeze. The wonderful side effect for us gardeners is that the leaves become incredibly sweet and tender. A kale leaf harvested after a frost is a completely different culinary experience to one picked in the height of summer. It loses some of its bitterness and gains a deep, complex flavor that is simply magnificent. For a continuous supply, the harvesting technique is key. Don't simply pull up the whole plant. Instead, work from the bottom up, picking the lower, outer leaves first. This encourages the plant to keep producing new growth from its central crown. By doing this, a single well-established kale plant can provide you with fresh greens from autumn right through to the following spring, standing proud and verdant even when the rest of the garden is asleep. Varieties like Cavolo Nero or Red Boar are not only hardy but also stunningly beautiful, adding structure and color to the winter landscape. Now, spinach might surprise you. We often think of it as a tender, leafy green, and while it's true that summer heat causes it to bolt and turn bitter, it absolutely adores the cool conditions of autumn and winter. In fact, a touch of frost does for spinach what it does for kale, making the leaves crisper and sweeter. Sowing a hardy variety in late summer or early autumn gives the plants enough time to establish a good root system before the serious cold sets in. They will then sit quite happily, almost dormant, through the depths of winter, ready to burst back into life at the first hint of spring. The secret to getting a really early spring crop is to give them a bit of protection. A thick blanket of mulch, perhaps straw or shredded leaves, spread around the base of the plants will insulate the soil and protect the crowns from the worst of the freeze-thaw cycles. This simple act not only safeguards your plants but also gives you a tremendous head start. As the days begin to lengthen, you'll be rewarded with a flush of tender, delicious leaves long before you could even think about sowing new seeds. It's one of the great joys of the hungry gap, harvesting fresh spinach when the garden is just beginning to wake up. Garlic is a plant that truly embodies the rhythm of the seasons. It's a crop that demands patience, but its needs are simple, and it actively benefits from a cold spell. The ideal time to plant garlic is in the autumn, before the ground freezes solid. Each clove you plant needs a period of cold vernalization, essentially a prolonged chill, to stimulate it to divide and form a full head of new cloves for the following summer. Planting in autumn allows the cloves to establish their roots before winter's arrival, and then they simply wait, biding their time beneath the soil. They are incredibly hardy and require very little attention over the winter months. As spring arrives, you'll see their bright green shoots pushing through the soil, a welcome sign of the life stirring beneath. But there's a bonus crop to be had long before the main harvest. In late spring, the hardneck varieties will send up a flowering stalk, known as a garlic scape. You must snip these off to redirect the plant's energy back into bulb formation, but don't you dare throw them away. These scapes are a culinary delight, tender, with a mild sweet garlic flavor, perfect for stir-fries or pestos. It's a wonderful early reward for your patience. The sweet root carrots. Carrots are a staple, but winter-harvested carrots are in a league of their own. Much like kale, the carrot plant responds to cold soil by converting its starches into sugars. This is a survival mechanism to prevent its cells from freezing. But for us, it means that carrots pulled from the ground in the dead of winter are exceptionally sweet and flavorful. The key is to choose a hardy variety, often the main crop types, and to time your sowing so they reach maturity just as the cold weather sets in. They don't continue to grow much in the winter, but the soil acts as a perfect natural larder. The trick to a winter-long harvest is insulation. Once the first hard frosts are forecast, cover your carrot bed with a deep layer of mulch, at least 6 to 12 inches of straw, shredded leaves, or even just loose soil. This blanket protects the ground from freezing solid and keeps the carrot tops from being damaged. When you fancy some fresh carrots for a stew or a roast, you simply venture out, pull back a section of the mulch, and lift what you need. It feels like a magic trick, pulling vibrant, sweet carrots from the cold earth when all else is frozen. The forgotten salad mâche, also known as corn salad or lamb's lettuce. Here is a wonderful green that has, for some reason, fallen out of favor in many modern gardens, and that is a great shame. I'm talking about mâche, or as it's often called, corn salad or lamb's lettuce. This is, without a doubt, one of the hardiest and most rewarding winter greens you can grow. It forms small, tender rosettes of spoon-shaped leaves with a wonderfully delicate, nutty flavor that is just perfect for winter salads. While other lettuces will bolt or rot, mache seems to relish the cold, shrugging off frost and even snow with remarkable resilience. It's an incredibly easy crop to grow. You simply scatter the seeds over a prepared bed in late summer or early autumn. It doesn't need much fuss. It will germinate quickly in the cool soil and form a dense carpet of green. You can harvest it in two ways, either by carefully snipping individual leaves, allowing the plant to regrow, or by cutting the entire rosette at the base. Because it grows so low to the ground, it's naturally protected from the worst of the winter winds. It's a truly beautiful sight, a patch of vibrant green mâche, perhaps with a dusting of snow on its leaves, promising a fresh, living salad in the depths of winter. The sturdy pillar leeks. Leeks are the architectural backbone of the winter vegetable patch. They stand like sentinels, their dark green flags weathering frost, snow, and biting winds without complaint. They are members of the onion family, but unlike onions, they don't form a bulb and are prized for their long, white, blanched stem. Many winter varieties are incredibly cold-hardy and can be left in the ground all winter long, providing a steady supply for hearty soups, stews, and pies. They offer a mild, sweet onion flavor that deepens and improves with cooking. To get those lovely long white stems, you need to blanch them. This simply means excluding light from the stem as it grows. You can do this by planting the young leek seedlings in a deep hole and gradually filling it in with soil as the plant grows, or by mounding soil up around the stems throughout the season. This process keeps the stems tender and pale. Harvesting them is a satisfying winter task. You'll often need a garden fork to loosen the soil around their deep roots before you can pull them free from the cold, firm ground. They are a true symbol of winter resilience. If you want to keep a splash of vibrant color in your garden through the grayest months, look no further than Swiss chard. With its glossy, crinkled leaves and stems that come in a rainbow of colors, red, yellow, pink, and white. Chard is as beautiful as it is productive. It's a member of the beet family, but we grow it for its leaves and stems rather than its root. It is remarkably resilient, tolerating both the heat of summer and, crucially for our purposes, the cold of winter. While a very severe prolonged freeze might knock it back, in many climates it will happily survive and even produce new leaves. Much like kale, the secret to a long harvest is to pick it correctly. Always harvest the outer leaves, cutting them near the base of the plant with a sharp knife. This encourages the plant to continue producing new leaves from the central growing point. A row of chard planted in late summer can provide you with nutritious greens right through autumn and often well into the winter. Even if the tops die back in the very coldest weather, the roots often survive, ready to send up a fresh flush of tender new growth in the early spring. It's a wonderfully generous and forgiving plant. The storing staple, cabbage. Cabbage is a classic, a humble vegetable that truly shines in the winter. Certain varieties are bred specifically for their ability to stand in the garden through frost and snow, their dense heads protected by the tough outer leaves. A winter cabbage, like a January king with its beautiful crinkled leaves flushed with purple, is a sight to behold on a frosty morning. These hardy types form dense, solid hearts that are just perfect for shredding into coleslaws, fermenting into sauerkraut, or braising into sweet, tender submission for a winter feast. They are, honestly, the epitome of wholesome, comforting winter food. Beyond the varieties that can be left in the ground, there are also the storage cabbages. These are typically harvested in late autumn, before the heaviest frosts. The key is to choose varieties known for their keeping qualities, like Tundra or Brunswick. When harvesting for storage, you leave a few of the outer leaves intact to protect the head. They can then be stored in a cold, dark, and dry place, a cellar, a garage, or an unheated shed, for months. Hung by their roots or placed on shelves with good air circulation, these cabbages will keep you supplied long after the outdoor harvest has finished, providing that satisfying crunch all winter long. The sweetest weight parsnips. Parsnips are the embodiment of patience and transformation in the garden. Sown in the spring, they spend all summer developing their long, tapered roots deep in the soil. But their true moment arrives with the first frosts of autumn. Like carrots, parsnips react to the cold by converting their starches into sugars, and this process is absolutely essential for developing their unique, sweet, nutty, and slightly spicy flavor. A parsnip lifted before a frost is a pale imitation of one that has been left in the ground to be properly chilled. It's a vegetable that truly needs the cold to be at its best. They can be left in the ground all winter, using the earth as their own cold storage. In fact, their flavor often continues to improve with each successive frost. The foliage will die back, so it's a good idea to mark the rows with stakes so you can find them later, especially if snow covers the ground. Harvesting them requires a bit of effort. You'll need a good garden fork to carefully lever them out of the cold, often heavy soil without snapping the long roots. But the reward for that effort is one of the quintessential tastes of winter, perfect when roasted until caramelized and golden. The early gift winter peas. Our final crop is one that offers a promise of the spring to come. Winter peas, often referred to as Austrian winter peas. These are not typically grown for their pods like the peas of summer. Instead, they are sown in the autumn as a cover crop and for their delicious, tender shoots. They are incredibly hardy and will grow through the milder periods of winter, providing you with fresh, sweet-tasting pea shoots that are a wonderful addition to salads and stir-fries when fresh greens are scarce. It's a delicate taste of summer in the middle of winter, but their benefits extend far beyond the kitchen. As a member of the legume family, winter peas have a symbiotic relationship with bacteria in the soil that allows them to fix nitrogen from the atmosphere, making it available in the soil for other plants. So, after you've enjoyed harvesting their shoots through the winter and early spring, you can simply chop the plants down and incorporate them into the soil. This acts as a green manure, enriching your beds with valuable organic matter and a free source of nitrogen. perfectly preparing the ground for the hungry crops of the coming season like brassicas or sweet corn. So there you have it. 10 magnificent vegetables that don't just endure the cold, but are actively improved by it. The garden in winter is not a barren wasteland. It's a place of quiet growth, of slow, sweetening transformations happening just beneath the surface. It's a testament to the resilience of nature and a source of immense satisfaction for the gardener willing to work with the seasons. Don't let winter stop your gardening. Try these cold, hardy crops and enjoy fresh harvests all season long. There is nothing quite like stepping out into the crisp air to gather ingredients for your dinner. It changes your relationship with food and with the year's cycle. You begin to appreciate the deep, earthy sweetness of a frost-kissed parsnip, the robust flavor of kale that has stood against the snow, and the delicate promise of the first pea shoots. It's a more thoughtful, patient, and ultimately rewarding way to garden. It connects you to the land in a profound way, reminding us that even in the darkest, coldest times there is still life, nourishment, and beauty to be found, if you just know where to look. I hope this has inspired you to leave a few rows in your vegetable patch for the winter season and to try something new. The effort is minimal, but the rewards are truly great. So, I must ask, which winter vegetable will you plant this year? Are you tempted by the sweet resilience of mâche or the steadfast nature of the winter leek? Let us know in the comments. We love to hear about what's growing in your gardens, whatever the season. Until next time, happy gardening.